Every hero has its flaw. After watching John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, if you will, in the Firefly Funhouse match, it shows that a hero that people love and somewhat despise has fallen from grace. We've seen it in movies, comic books, and video games, but this was an example of a character that has finally met his match. How did this all start? Where does the Firefly Funhouse, how did this feud get started? Bray Wyatt decided to pick a fight with John Cena, and he reminds us 6 years ago, back at WrestleMania 30, John Cena had the opportunity to put over Bray Wyatt, to give him a stamp of approval that he was going to be a big star in the company. John Cena did not do that, and he ended up persevering through the odds once again. Fans disliked it, even the wrestlers disliked it. But I'll talk about John Cena's history with a lot of wrestlers that were supposed to be stars. But just imagine if Bray Wyatt actually defeated John Cena. And this story is all about triumph, revenge, and fall from grace. This is my analyzation of John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse. Here's how it all starts. John Cena comes out. He addresses the fans on television to an empty crowd, but talks to us via camera, taped, saying, "Welcome to WrestleMania," and then the feed cuts off. The feed cuts off, and basically we hear Vince McMahon's voice introducing WrestleMania multiple times. Then we see Bray Wyatt welcoming us to the Firefly Funhouse, and the match is on. He goes through a door. John Cena is now teleported through into the Firefly Funhouse, and then he opens the door. There is a quote from one of my favorite Batman books, The Killing Joke. All it takes is one bad day to make a person go insane. And into this match, we see John Cena walking in, and basically we are treated to his first appearance. His first appearance on television. He is known as the prototype John Cena, or just John Cena, period. And it was basically Bray Wyatt was playing as Kurt Angle, because back in the early 2000s, Kurt Angle had put out an open challenge, and John Cena was one of the few people to face off against Kurt Angle. And he says, "Ruthless aggression." And we get John Cena in full wrestling gear. A mirror of his first time in SmackDown, his first TV television appearance. And he's attacking Bray Wyatt. And he's like, and Bray Wyatt brought up "you can look but you can't touch," which is basically a play off of John Cena's former girlfriend slash fiance, Nikki Bella. I was going to say Brie, but Brie's married to Daniel Bryan. Anywho, after that, we get treated to a Saturday Night's Main Event type of vignette promo, and you've got Workout Bray and John Cena just flailing his arms with two of the bells like he's losing it. And as he drops them, he tries to hit Bray Wyatt, but nothing happens. Fast forward, we are treated to John Cena's old gimmick, the Doctor of Thugonomics, the rapper Cena, the gimmick that made him into a star, the thing that made him who he is today. And Bray is just getting at him, and he's rapping and rhymes, and You can hear crickets. And Bray's like, no one's listening. No one cares. And then John Cena tries to attack him, but he doesn't. Bray Wyatt ends up getting a chain and hitting him. We are then teleported to WCW Nitro, where Bray Wyatt is playing as Eric Bischoff, introducing Hulk Hogan. And we see John Cena with the old big gold World Heavyweight title and wearing NWO gear like he was Hollywood Hogan. And so we also get Bray just laughing at him. They're doing the too sweet. And then all of a sudden, John Cena just reverts back to his normal self. And then we get to the moment of this part of the match. We get the return of Colt Bray. He's doing the whole gimmick. The rocking chair is there, all of it. And it brought me back to a time where it was like, whoa. And so we get to this part where John Cena, this is the same situation that happened. Bray Wyatt standing there telling John Cena to swing the chair. Do it. Do it. And you see John Cena hesitant. But Bray just kept getting at him to the point where he swings the chair. Bray disappears. Bray disappears, and John Cena is beside himself. He doesn't know what's happening. Everything's going weird. And then, of course, we get the climax. We get John Cena finally getting Bray Wyatt, knocking him down, and unbeknownst to him, he realizes he's hitting Huskus the Pig, the puppet character. The Fiend comes out, attacks him, recites what John Cena said, that he's underprivileged and he has no right to be in this business. Bray takes him out with the Sister Abigail. And then he proceeds to pick him up again to dance with him just like he did at WrestleMania. And then he uses the claw, the hurt heel gloves. If you watch the match, you'll see it again. And then Bray Wyatt wins. So with this part, so just to give you sort of an idea of what's going on, it's basically seeing a hero failing to defeat the villain. The villain finally reaching his goal. Defeat the hero. And we are seeing memories of John Cena's past, like I said before, with the whole prototype gimmick that he did in OVW when he first started, which was a former WWE training facility. We have John. It's basically showing us that John Cena was going to be the big star, and Vince, choosing him. But at this point in time, John Cena was becoming a fail, and that Vince was about to be cut. With the rapper gimmick, that got Cena. He got over with the gimmick to the point where people went from booing to cheering him. That's how I got into John Cena, and many of you had the same thing. And it's Bray working on the weaknesses of John Cena. Because as you've seen as the character John Cena, just to give you sort of a small synopsis of Cena's character, he's always been Superman. He's never had a kryptonite or anything. He will lose occasionally, only occasionally. But at the end of the day, Cena will always win 2 or more matches into his belt, which would later put people down. You've seen it with guys like Rusev, guys like Punk at one point, guys like Bray Wyatt, guys like The Nexus, Ryback, just to name a few. And that John Cena has always been a guy that perseveres, because kids love superheroes. They love superheroes because they don't want them to see them fall. And John Cena is a person that has always been looked at as a hero, as you see him doing charitable work with, Be a Star and the Make-A-Wish Foundations and all that. John Cena has always been the poster boy for WWE. But a lot of fans doesn't like that. John Cena is what I consider him, the modern day Hogan of his time. And if you really pay attention closely, you can see that Cena is reliving parts of his past, and we're seeing it from him. It's like if Bray Wyatt dosed him with fear toxins. This is what this story is about. Fear, failure, tragedy, and a fall from grace. Fear is that John Cena feels like as though Bray Wyatt was not a person that could be a big star, a guy that seems that he's not ready. And John Cena is usually the gatekeeper for that company. He was the locker room leader. Now you got Roman Reigns. And you can see why people dislike Roman Reigns is because he's pushed so hard into our faces. We don't like that. We would hate him. And if you also look at how Cena is being more aggressive and more angry, is because he doesn't want people to see him that way. And if you saw the whole NWO thing with him and Bray Wyatt, it's sort of what would happen if Cena turned heel. Like, for example, if he lost, he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28 in Miami. This was a perfectly good time for him to turn heel. He didn't do that. He ended up facing Brock Lesnar and winning that match. And the whole story was John Cena was losing and losing and losing. But he really wasn't losing. It was just building up Cena stronger than ever. And Bray Wyatt preys on the weakness, which I get to my next topic with the Fiend Bray Wyatt, is that the Fiend takes opponents that he has faced and revert them back to their normal state. For example, who did the Fiend face at SummerSlam last year? Finn Balor. What happened to Finn Balor? He disappears, he comes to NXT, he becomes the Prince once again, he turns heel, he becomes the Prince from old back in New Japan. That's how the Bullet Club got started. You look at guys like, for example, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the yes guy, and at one point he became a heel. Bray Wyatt beat him. He's back to his indie days. He's back to the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan. Same goes with The Miz. The Miz was a babyface to the point where he got boring. He's better off a heel. Once Bray beat him, that was it. Miz became a heel, and he's now tag team champions with John Morrison, bringing back the dirt sheets. So it's Bray Wyatt taking parts of people and putting them back to where they belong. But where does John Cena fit in? Tragedy. Another thing about tragedy is that for Cena, he has failed. He has failed himself. He failed in getting a marriage. He's failed of evolving. He's failed of trying to do something new. When I look at guys like Hulk Hogan knew that Hulkamania will live forever. It's just that it can only go for so long. And he got tired of it. Fans got tired of it. That's why he got booed during that Royal Rumble before WrestleMania 6, I recall, with him and Ultimate Warrior for title. And when he got to WCW, he was still the same Hulkamania, and fans still gravitate towards, but they got tired of it. Then enter Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, WCW, Bash at the Beach 96. The NWO was formed because of Hogan. Hogan was the leader. He was the third man. He turned into Hollywood Hogan. He became the villain, and being the villain made him cool again. Hogan had a career resurgence. Same thing you could say about The Undertaker. He was the dead man for a while. Then he became the American Badass and Big Evil. You have The Rock. He was the People's Champ. Then he became Hollywood Rock. Fans gravitated toward it. What I'm saying is that John Cena has evolved, but hasn't evolved fully to what he would have become if he became a heel. A chance that, even though he would be champion again, fans would hate him, but at the same time, they would love him. They would love him because it's okay to change and become a villain. Which leads to my final point, a fall from grace. In this match, you have John Cena with the chair, as I said before in the beginning. He has the chair. He's about to hit Bray Wyatt with it. He goes along with trying to hit him, but he missed. He missed, and he got beaten down. And you can see after the end of the match, John Cena is on the ground, face down, feeling as though he has lost. It reminds me so much of a scene in Batman Beyond: Return to Joker. Yes, I'm doing another Batman reference. Of him seeing how the Joker has broken him. Took Robin, kidnapped him, brainwashed him, and he has control. Joker knows his secret identity, he knows everything. The villain has won. The hero falls from grace. With John Cena, he feels as though he failed at everything. And at this point, he is considered retirement. We don't know for sure. But it's Bray Wyatt finally getting what he wanted. He wanted his win back. He wanted revenge for 6 long years. And he got it. And he turned the face of the WWE into a shell of his former self. No longer, you can't see me, hustle, loyalty, respect, chain gang, all of that. He destroyed John Cena. He broke him. And thus, the hero has fallen from grace. And he is now a shell of his former self. And that's my analyzation of the Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. A match that is, of course, fear, tragedy, and a fall from grace. A story that was told perfectly. Even if it was a weird setting, it told a story and it made it perfect. Or almost perfect, near perfect. But to me, it was a perfect way to end a story. A 6-year story of a character that has now met his match. And for that, I leave it to you guys. What do you think of the Firefly Funhouse match? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you catch some of the Easter eggs? Did you catch some of the ideals? And if you analyze yourself, the whole story, what do you think? I can't wait to hear it in the comments. Please, go to the comments. Other than that, folks, this is the 25 Kid telling you to love each other, love yourselves, take care. Always wash your hands. Always be careful of your surroundings. Do the dab when you're coughing and sneezing. And as well as, of course, be safe. This is the 25 Kid signing out. Until next episode. See you folks later down the road.